Stryker is known before a live studio audience. We're here in Illinois. Illinois. Home of the Stinker Station Part 2.
That was Idaho.
Part 2.
Oh, Part 2, okay. Like, it stinks around here? A little smelly.
I mean, yeah. Stinker Station.
Alright, yeah, so here we have the unofficial Clutch Trucker Fan Club. My son Justin, he has to be.
Yeah.
There's Derek, Brendan, and that big guy known as Boss.
Yep, big guy. Yeah.
Alright. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. Yeah, the opening today was done by the unofficial Clutch Trucker Fan Club. As I introduced them, yeah, my son and 3 of his friends. They're on a little trek. They're on their way to Maine. They kind of got robbed of everything this year. The graduating class of 2020, most of them lost their graduation ceremony, they lost their prom, and yada yada yada. So they were just really itching to do something, and can you blame them, right? So they're heading up to Maine, and just caught up with them at a Thornton's, just off I-80 and I-55. They're in Illinois for a few minutes to say hi, so that was nice of them to do that. They're going to Cedar Point tomorrow. I'm jealous as hell. Cedar Point's a great amusement park in Sandusky, Ohio, by the way, if you've never heard of it. They have some of the tallest and fastest roller coasters in the world. So, lucky little boy I oughta. So after catching up with them for a few minutes, now I'm rolling west here in Illinois on I-80 heading towards Geneseo. Little gas and sip with some truck parking in it. That's where I'm going to stay tonight before I deliver my load to Milan, Illinois tomorrow morning. It's only 23 miles away from there, so not too bad at all. So kind of dark up ahead. Looks like it's starting to sprinkle on the windshield. Looks like we might get a little bit of rain here. Oh, in a construction zone. Yay! That's so much fun. Anyway, subject of this video is mainly going to be my CB radio. I've had some requests, a couple of requests saying, well, what's your favorite CB radio, Clutch? I've touched on it in a couple of my other videos, like my Trucker Gadgets video and Best Entertainment for Truckers video, but I didn't really go into depth in it, so we're going to do that on the video today. But first, some fun dash cam. Drove through the Baltimore Bay Area Tunnel yesterday on my way to pick up my load on Friday. No, that would have been, yeah, Friday. Today's Sunday. It's Sunday the 9th of August. Yeah, so that was Friday. It's kind of a neat bridge because it goes down under the bay and then back up. So let's look at that. So here we are, just about to enter the tunnel as we start to drop down. That's why the walls get high. There are 4 bores, as they call it, as we go down. It's hard to tell on the video how much we're going down, but right about this point right here, we're about at the bottom point. You see taillights reflecting off the tiled walls. We're starting to come back up now. You can see daylight reflecting off the walls as we start to come back out the tunnel as we're going back up, as we've come out under the water, and here we come back up to land, and there's the toll booth where they charge me 35 bucks for the privilege of that. Whoops, that lane's closed. Gotta back up. So that's pretty cool. One other quick note I want to say, I've always wondered why truck stops never carry electric shavers, because I use an electric one, you know. They carry like the blades. I like the electric. In my Remington, I buy a new Remington like once a year, just like most crap that's made today. You know, nothing ever lasts more than a year. So about every year I gotta buy a new Remington shaver. And they're about 30-40 bucks. The Norelcos, I've tried those. They can go anywhere from 60 to 100, and they don't do any better. They don't last any longer. So as far as how things last, then if they're not going to last me more than a year, I don't want to pay much. Well, now I've noticed pilots, Flying J's, and some TAs now, and Petros, are carrying this Barbisol rotary shaver for 20 bucks. So I bought one at Pilot the other day and used it for my shower early this morning, and it works real well. Smooth as a baby's butt, baby, thank you. So for 20 bucks at a truck stop, that's a good deal for a shaver for a trucker. Alright, so enough of that. Well, let me show you a real quick picture of it and everything. So this is the $20 Barbisol rechargeable rotary shaver I got at a Pilot for 20 bucks. Can't beat that. I also saw they've had these at TAs and Petros for 20 bucks too. My Remington was dying, so I've used it already, but I put it back in the box so you can see what it looks like. All right, so you open the Hooji Bodger in the back there, pop the top off, yada yada yada, so I can say here's an unboxing, blah blah blah. All right, there's the outside part of the box. All right, so then this is what you see on the inside. Shaver, cord, blah blah blah. Take the little cover off, and you can pull the shaver out. Here's what it looks like. The standard rotary shaver. Turn it on. You know, there's the tripper in the back for your mustache and all that, you know. So you can see it works. And then the cord that comes with it to recharge it, and a little cleaner thing to clean out the heads. All right, enough of that. Let's dive into the subject of the day, my CB radio. What do I run and what do I like to run? I've run Cobras, I've run Midlands, I've run various ones. The one I run now that I've been running for years is a great little CB radio. It's the Stryker SR-447 HPC2. Let's take a look. This is my Stryker SR-447 HPC2 amateur 10 meter radio, also kind of known as a CB radio. Thing that makes it an amateur 10 meter, it has all these different channel selectors here, but you need to be on D on this one for the CB channels, all right? And it has it over here on the right, and right now I'm on 19. If I turn my squelch down, you hear the RF sound, just the static behind it. Turn that back up. I'll turn the volume back down a little bit. Here's your RF, I can turn that up. I'm trying to pull in a little farther. Let's see if we can get anybody on it.
Break 19, anybody got a copy on this radio? Come on.
Nobody out there.
Break 19, anyone got a copy on this radio? Come on.
Of course, when I want them to respond, they don't. You've got your monitor and power up here, okay, which is mainly for your talkback, because you heard me talking back through it. Talkback lets you hear basically what's going out. It's not true, but it's close. I've got the echo and everything over here. I can turn that up and make it heavier. Listen to this.
Check one.
I don't like it having it up that high. I like running it about here where you just hear a little bit.
Check one.
Okay. You can see right now I've got it on blue color. The colors do change. This switch right here is for your noise blanker plus, noise blanker and off. It just cuts out a lot of the background noise, okay? Right here, this is for, because I said this one does change color, that's your dim, and then it puts, like you see over here on the display, right there, a number. You can go down to, you see how it gets darker, down to nothing, and then 3.1 is the highest. You see how bright that is? I usually leave it around 1.6. Now you can change the color. Check this out. I've got it on color 5. I like this bluish color. There's purple. There's kind of a white. There's where it alternates. You can have it alternating. I think that's annoying while going down the road. There's a green. There's a red. It's kind of an orange. There's a darker blue. And the lighter blue. I like the lighter blue. Another thing I really do like about this radio, not only do you have the RF meter here, which shows you your watt output.
Check one, check one.
You see it's running past about 80 right there, up over 50. Over here, in the channel display, when you key up your mic, it shows you your SWR.
1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm at 1.2, 1.3. That's a good tune on your antenna.
You want to have your antenna showing up around 1, 1.2, 1.5, 2.0 at the most. The closer you can get to 1, the better tuned your radio is to your antenna system. 1.2 to 1.3, that's excellently tuned, and that'll give you good response. Basically, what it comes down to is if your SWR is too high, you're going to burn up your radio. You don't want that. And that's where antennas need to be tuned to your radio, and that's the whole point of the SWR function. You can still hear my RF in the background. Is to let you know where it's at so you can tune your antennas as best you can to get the lowest SWR. It's a process. You got to work at it to get a good tuned radio. Now out of the box, it'll only do about 50-55 watts. Peaked and tuned by a CB shop, you'll get, more like 85. About 80-85 watts is what I get out of this one, which is a hell of a lot more than your standard CB radio. If you buy a CB radio at a truck stop, 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 watts. That's it. You're barely throwing across the highway, across the median. So if you really want a good CB, you want the one that talks far, one that picks up far, you need to go to a CB shop and get a different CB. You can go buy like a Cobra 29 at a truck stop and bring it to a CB shop, and they'll peak and tune it up, and they can usually get those up to around 50 watts by what's in it. You can buy extra stuff to make it higher. I don't really suggest doing that because you can tend to burn the radios up. But this one at 80 watts, that's about all I need. It throws pretty good, it receives really good, and like I say, I love the little size. It's a great little CB radio. Receives real good, throws real good. The microphone that it comes with is garbage. Get yourself a separate mic. I run this one right here. It's just a standard Astatic mic, and I got my little hook so I can release it. It goes back up, pull it down. You can get these little gear hooks, holders with a little thing on it, at most CB shops, even inside some main truck stops too. And I run dual antennas on this truck. I've got the old style mirror mounts, so it's easy to put them on here. On Cascadias and some of the newer trucks, they don't have outside mirror mounts that are as easy to put on. You kind of got to get creative with it. But this one uses the standard old-fashioned mounts. And I was just running some fiberglass fire stick antennas. Now, after winning some money at a casino, I went ahead and bought the Stryker antennas. You can see the mount there on my tubular mirror mount. And then we'll look up. There's the Stryker antenna. Those antennas are awesome. They receive better, they transmit better than almost anything out there. They're worth the $85. Expensive, but worth it. Now at Walcott CB, this radio was about $300, peaked and tuned and everything out the door. If you order it, you can order it on Amazon. Like I say, I'll put the model number down in the description, and you can just then go type that into the search and find it. I did that and found you can get this radio from Amazon for about $240. It's a lot cheaper, but it's not going to be peaked and tuned. If you want it peaked and tuned, go to a CB shop, and I do recommend Walcott CB in Walcott, Iowa. They do a real good job there. So to summarize, if you're just going to use your CB as a backup radio, as I always call it, for the people who never turn theirs on until there's a backup, oh, what's going on? Oh, which lane we need to be in? I usually run mine all the time. Yeah, you got to put up with all the shut up, stupid, and I ain't wearing no underwear and all that kind of crap, but it saved me too many times about huge backups that I hadn't heard about. Maybe my GPS didn't warn me about them, and then I can find out how to get around it and avoid it and keep on trucking. So, like I always like to say, that's my choice, that's my favorite. I like it a lot. I like the little size because it fits in the chassis up here in my truck. This little sized one will fit in most chassis areas for a CB in most trucks. That's what's really nice about it. It's not too pricey. It sounds good. It talks good. It receives good. I really like it. I like the colors. You can adjust the color dimness level up and down if you need to, so that it doesn't blind you at night. Some of them you can't do that. They get a little annoying. So if you're only going to use a radio as like a backup radio, yeah, just buy that 3-watt radio from a truck stop for $49.99. That's all you need. If you are going to talk on it more often, you're going to use it more as a tool, like many other things you might use in your truck, like your GPS or your map or what have you, then you might want to spend a little extra money on this Stryker radio that I highly recommend. My buddy Jim's got the other one I talked about, the 947 HPC in his truck. He really likes that because he likes having the sideband available, you know, but it's up to you. I like the smaller size and it fits up there in my little cubby very nicely. Alright, well, you know, since I didn't open the video with Rusty, I got to end the video with Rusty, so here he is. Look how furry this dog's getting. You know, it's just redonkulous. He's higher maintenance than I am, right? Yeah, it's grooming time again. I got to try to find a PetSmart again sometime in the next couple of weeks that I can get him in at along my route somewhere. That's kind of hard to do as a trucker, but, you know, spend a little time looking. Sometimes you can find a place, and that's what I'll be doing, right, Rusty? The excitement is just beyond belief. Anyway, yeah, like my Stryker. Hope you enjoyed this video about that. Hey, if you're new to this channel, I got my signs of my truck. Hopefully maybe some of you have just found me because of that. I've got like about 200 videos on this channel, all about anything and everything in trucking, and a lot of stuff has nothing to do with trucking. I did a whole video about doing bad impressions, celebrity impressions. I've done some COVID-19 parody songs. You know, I've just done some silly stuff, as well as, you know, all about trucking, minor repairs, quick and dirty repairs on your truck, wiring repairs, airline repairs, things like that, COVID-19 updates. I have a ton of videos on here, so dig deep and you can find them. Oh, and by the way, when I recorded my video all about the new hours of service rules from the FMCSA that are going into effect this September, I recorded that video, of course, then they changed the date, effective date. At the time I recorded the video, they were saying September 28th, which would have been a Monday. Now they've moved it one day. They've pushed it one day farther. So the new FMCSA hours of service rules are going into effect September 29th. I did change that in the description on that video, even though on the video the graphic says September 28th. So just know it's going into effect on the 29th. Right, Rusty? Yeah. When I'm out of the truck, he's barking his head off. He's so animated and everything, and in all these videos, he looks like he's been drugged. I tell you. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Would love to kick that up a little bit if I can. Thanks so much for tuning in, by the way. And like, comment. I do get to your comments. Sometimes takes me a day or two because I'm working. Ring that bell for notification. As always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch out.